This brings me to what I believe is the best psychological area athletes can work on during this quarantine period, and that's in this edition of Psych-Pass, Shoot, Score, I'll be sharing 3 psychological areas in which athletes can develop during quarantine. Before we get into it, if you're new here, this is a channel where I discuss 3 amazing topics, either individually or in combination, and that's sports, anime, and sports psychology. So if any of those topics interest you, subscribe for more content just like this. So first up, we have sport confidence.
People have the image of me that I'm a bad boy, I'm this, I'm that. People are curious, how is this Zlatan and that. I'm a family guy. I'm taking care of my family, but when I come on the pitch, I'm a lion. That's the big difference.
I think it's pretty clear that everyone agrees that confidence is great for performance as well as life in general. There are multiple ways in which you can gain confidence, but the best way to do this during this self-isolation times would be through vicarious experiences, which is observing the performance of elite athletes.
I hesitated. Go. You saw me? Watch this. Hesitate, hesitate, hesitate. Go block. Right. Now watch this.
This acts as a psychological self-awareness checklist where you can highlight the physical areas in which you feel you do very similar to elite athletes, as well as areas you feel you don't do as well. This not only gives you confidence in the areas you do well, helping you to perform those areas more fluidly when the time arises, but also aids in highlighting areas you need to develop when you return to action, becoming more complete and confident as an athlete. This can be worked on by highlighting 3 elite athletes. Come up with multiple questions from a technical, tactical, and psychological standpoint, which you feel you could watch film on them and highlight. You could score these out of 10 and then rate yourself in these areas, giving you a clear picture on those different areas to be confident in and those areas you need to develop. And having a clear picture doesn't only help in your confidence, but also in your preparation for competition, as it is beneficial to have a clear picture on what you want to do before the match begins. This leads me to the next psychological area, and that's pre-performance routine.
Make a damn schedule and stick to it.
A pre-performance routine is a sequence of task-relevant thoughts and actions which you could do before performance or before performing a certain skill. Pre-performance routines can put you in the best mind state before training and competition, throwing away those feelings of worry and anxiety and bringing forth those psychological strengths of focus and confidence. This can be worked on during quarantine by first writing down some performance factors which you feel are important to you. Afterwards, write down the desired outcome in these performance factors. After this step, you can either try to visualize yourself performing the desired outcomes in these performance factors successfully, or you can say these to yourself, practicing goal-directed, positive self-talk. This can be done for your home routine during this self-isolation period, and it can also be done before competition. However, for the most benefit, pick the option which best suits you, and remember to continually practice this so you can become more comfortable in the process when progressing to more performance factors. And with multiple performance factors, the best way to execute these would be to stay in the present, and this brings me to what I believe is the best psychological area athletes can work on during this quarantine period, and that's mindfulness.
I never couched it in Zen stuff. You know, I approached it with mindfulness. So we talked about mindfulness as being, you know, as much as we pump iron and we run to build our strength up, we need to build our mental strength up. We need to build our mental strength so we can focus, we can get one-pointed attention, and so that we can be in concert with one another in times of need.
Mindfulness is the non-judgmental awareness on the present moment. It is to focus so much on the present moment that you allow situations, whether positive or negative, to come and go without dwelling on them once the situation has passed. This benefits athletes, as mindful athletes may have heightened awareness, allowing them to devote their attention and energy to their decision-making ability at the task at hand. This can be practiced by following a guided mindfulness video on YouTube which focuses on your breathing and noticing each area of your body, accepting and letting go of any distracting thoughts. This then can be progressed into a sporting context, and a good app to use is Headspace, which has a section specifically designated for athletes. This video wasn't sponsored by them, but hey, Headspace, if you're watching, come talk to me. So there you have it. Returning back to your sport, whenever the case may be, might make you worry from a physical standpoint. However, by utilizing and working on these psychological techniques, this could give you the edge when returning back to your physical peak. You can use these techniques during the remainder of the season, and you can also use these in combination. For example, finding areas in your game you need to improve and develop confidence. Setting up a pre-performance routine, putting you in the best mental state before a competition, and accepting and letting go of any negative thoughts to allow you to stay in the present in the situations, allowing yourself to perform physically and mentally at an optimal level. So instead of sitting around doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs during this self-isolation period, start planting good, healthy psychological seeds which could grow into performance results once applied in your competition. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more content just like this.
But when you have to play against minds, every little thing is a chess match. It ain't checkers. In college, high school, y'all playing checkers. Usually the best player can double jump and do all this. Man, when you get to the league, partner, it's a whole nother ball game.